Hi, my name is Atara Turoff. Welcome to L'David Hashem Ori, Returning to Hashem Day by Day video series for the month of Elul with Neely. Today we'll be focusing on Mizmor 27, Pasuk 9. When Parak 27 begins, David HaMelech famously refers to Hashem as Ori V'yishi, my light and my salvation. The Ibn Ezra and others comment that Ori connotes the protection that God provides for us during darkness, during choshech, when all we can hope for is a little sliver of or, a little bit of light. Yishi, on the other hand, represents a salvation for one whose vision is unobstructed, whose connection with God is clear. Our Pasuk 9, is a turning point in this parak. Whereas the parak begins with much confidence on the part of David HaMelech in his relationship with Hashem and the protection that Hashem provides for him, with expressions such as Mimi Avchad, from whom will I fear? Or Lo Yirali Bi, my heart will not fear. Pasuk 9 begins a series of psukim in which David HaMelech expresses a doubt and a lack of security and clarity. He states, Al taster panecha mimeni, do not hide your presence from me. Al tat be'af avdecha, do not turn away your servant in anger. Al ticheni ve'al tazvini, do not forsake me and do not abandon me. David feels estranged and alone. He fears the onset of what we often refer to as Hester Panim, a time when we feel Hashem is hidden from us, a time of darkness for us. If the reader were to guess which midah, which trait, David HaMelech would hope to connect to in this pasuk where he feels the darkness and he feels Hashem potentially hiding from him, I would have thought it would have been Ori, the God who responds in the time of darkness that we need the light for. But instead, the pasuk concludes with David HaMelech calling out Elokei Yishi, the God of my salvation, the one that Mefarshim said represents the God of close connection. How are we to reconcile this? I'd like to suggest that in Pasuk Tet, David HaMelech is teaching us a deep hidden lesson. In fact, the Meshiloach on Parshas Balak states that every 9th pasuk in the Torah, throughout the Torah, contains deep hidden messages. Perhaps David HaMelech has come to the realization that many of us know from the famous song based on the words of Rabbi Nachman Breslov, Va'afilu b'hastara, shebesocha hastara, bevadai gam sham nimsa Hashem yisparach, that even, and as maybe even especially, in the darkest times, that is where one can and sometimes does feel and see God with the greatest clarity. David HaMelech is saying, Hashem, I ask you and I beg you, please don't turn and hide from me. But if and when you do, I know with certainty that I can hope for salvation. Not just a little spark of or, not just Ori, but a full reconnection to a relationship had when things were clear. This is the call to Elokei Yishi. Perhaps this is why, at least according to Minhag Ashkenaz, we say this Mizmor of Tehillim not just during Shacharis, but also during Mariv. We say, Hashem, whether in the dark of night or the light of day, we have faith that our connection to you is one and the same.